Hey folks, long time no Tales of Nuzka, so it's Misha Naomi, and yeah, here's one about singing. So when I was 12, I was trying to learn the piano and sing a song, and I was trying to sing Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, specifically the part like, Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Too late, my time has come, sends shivers down my spine, body's aching all the time. And my mom came down and she laughed at me and told me not to sing and that I couldn't sing because I was like her and she's tone deaf and can't sing, or at least has been told she can't sing. So I curled up underneath the piano and I proceeded to cry. And I didn't sing in front of anybody for a long time after that. I'd sing at home by myself. I would wander around the house singing at the top of my lungs. Then when I was living on the streets, I made up a song because I panhandled and I was 16-ish and living on the sidewalk, and I made up a song. I'm so big and scary, very hairy, better not spare any change today, 'cause I'm so big and scary, very hairy, better not spare any change today, 'cause I'm big and I'm mean and I'm totally obscene. And I sang that to my dad one day when went down to visit, and then came back up, and my dad in the vehicle looked at me and was like, holy shit, you have a range. Then when I was 36, I joined a Baha'i choir, and I sang and learned some things like that. Prior to that, when I was working at the drop-in center, I found a volunteer voice instructor to come and sing in with the kids, because my role was art and music instructor. And so I would teach guitar and just basic guitar and things like that. I got a bunch of donations from Gordon Price. They donated like 8 guitars, a couple of ukuleles, a flute, keyboard stand, not a keyboard, but a keyboard stand. And then, yeah, I got us a voice instructor and a drum instructor. So we had Marcus Fung would come and volunteer for very minimal, and then Sarah Dawson would come and volunteer and would do singing with us on Wednesdays and Fridays after Collective Kitchen, and we'd sing things like Beatles songs and Flight of the Conchords and things like that, and it was so fun. Me, Jaya, Ben, and Sarah would always sing together, and the kids really liked when we would bring out what was it, that one that's like, I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner, I'm a saint. And that was awesome. That's one of the songs that was easy to get the kids to sing to. The youth, I should say. They weren't kids. They were teenagers, and some of them in their 20s. And then when I was, in my 30s, I joined a Baha'i choir and sang all these faith hymns and did all this more vocal training, and sang at a couple of the Baha'i ceremonial things. So that was really, really lovely. The God hymns, they were supposed to be a choir of all faiths, but a lot of it was like, he is omnipotent, things like this. So I just wouldn't sing he. I would either sing they, or I would just omit, not sing those parts, because I'm really particular about my words and what I put my words behind. So if I don't agree, I was going to continue with the Baha'i choir, Little Sea of White, ancient little old folks. They really loved having us. And loved having me, one of the youngest humans, aside from a couple of 8 or 12-year-olds and a few Filipino people. But I brought forward where there was one kind of song we did that was similar to a goddess chant. So then I put forward a goddess chant, and I wanted to sing that, and I put that as my guideline. If they are truly all faiths, then we'll sing my goddess chant, and then I'll stay. So we did start doing some things that had ohms in them, and things that had First Nations language in them and stuff like that. So I agreed with that. But when they wouldn't put forward the goddess chant, that's when that was my line of like, nope, we don't continue beyond this point with this choir. But I love singing, and over the years, used to host jams at my house. We'd have a fire in the backyard, and we'd pass around the guitar. I've learned maybe 5 songs on the guitar. Paper Forest by Emmy the Great was one of the ones. and then Moth to a Flame by Amy Mann were two of the songs that I've learned by other people. But aside from that, mostly I just channel sing, and so I just start strumming these 4 chords that I would know how to do, and then I just sing. And currently I've been goofing around on the ukulele a little bit again and enjoying that, and yeah, doing the same thing though, just playing and channel singing and just allowing whatever voices, whatever comes through. My dad has a jam every year for his birthday. My dad has played music, played guitar every day since he was 24. And he has a stage and he does a big jam, and on his birthday he plays all music all day long. That's what he does. So the last year that we were there for his 70th birthday, I started on the stage with a bass and channel singing, and I ended up sounding like some like Chinese you know, folk tale of this like evil warrior, evil king thing, and this like princess, and then it was a bunch of like First Nation songs and whispers and the cries of calling for the ones that have fallen. And then on the last day, the next morning, I was the last person to play music on the stage. But at one stage, me, my brother, my dad, and my 2 brothers and my dad, we all jammed together, and it was exceptional because my brother is the advanced form of my father, and so he really knows how to teach how to play. My father taught the boys how to play, and then they also did their own thing, and it was more like boys play music, girls do art kind of thing in the house. And so I've always played a little bit, but was never really like considered myself a musician. But I love jamming. I love jamming, and I love drumming. And at one stage when I lived in Coston, I started hosting drum circles because it's really, really, really small village. And what do you do? So started renting the community hall and going to people's houses and having drum circles and spinning fire, things like that, as community engagement and music. And I absolutely love drumming. When I was participating in Project Heart with Surrounded by Cedar and Indigenous Youth in Foster Care, I was blessed to learn how to make drums, and was taught some of the traditional Akwangin welcome songs and a Kwakwakiwak song about children. You Are My Child in Kwakiutl, and many other beautiful, beautiful songs that then over different times we would get together and gather with my best friend Lindsay and a few of the beautiful, beautiful family members from Project Heart, and we would drum and we would sing the traditional songs of Turtle Island. And I love singing.